Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, we have a touch of fog this morning in spots for those that might be on the road. I want to show you what that looks like right now. We've got 2 miles visibility around Campbell County, Jacksboro, La Follette, maybe a little denser area there in white, maybe up toward, Somerset, Pulaski County, Kentucky. But there's some spots, even Crossville, coming in at 2 miles visibility. So I would suggest that if you are in a fog-prone area, it's down to 0 in Jacksboro. So we've got some reduced visibility in spots, but it's not everywhere. Just might be mindful of that this morning. Temperatures are all over the map, low 60s, mid 60s, upper 60s. We have 62 in Crossville, 68 Oak Ridge and Knoxville, while Sevierville's checking in at 63 degrees. Take a look at the map. You can see low 60s in Middlesboro, Kentucky, and Bell County, 64 in Newport and Greenville, and Morristown, Hamlin County, White Pine, mid-60s there, about 66, and we've got 64 in Athens in McMinn County. If you're on the call, just want to say good morning to you. Got an interesting morning today. Going to be a little hotter than it was yesterday, because yesterday we only got to 88 degrees. 88? You mean we broke the heat? Well, we've actually had a couple of days in the upper 80s, 89 here or there, which we'll look at in a moment. But usually we like to define a heat wave as 3 consecutive days or more of 90 or higher. And we did that for 3 days in Knoxville, but it was like a 6-day stretch for Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge only hit 88 yesterday as well. But we're at 68 right now here on the 20th of June. And may I say happy summer to you, because season's greetings are in order as we approach the latter part of the afternoon. I'll talk more about that here in just a moment. But the dew points are not as bad as they could be. If they were in the low 70s, you'd feel like you're in the swamp. But when it's in the low to mid 60s, you still say, yeah, it's humid, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's summer. What do you expect? You wouldn't expect dew points in the 40s. When you get that type of pattern, you might say, hey, it's time for football. Football time in Tennessee. Right now, we're in baseball time in Tennessee, or at least in Omaha, and very happy about the victory yesterday. By the way, the earth is tilted, as we remember from middle school. Science class, 23.5 degrees. That's what gives us the seasons. And it's not a surprise, but usually between June 20 and June 22, we expect the summer solstice to occur, astronomically speaking. This go-around, this year, it is on the 20th, which is today, and that happens at 4:50. So if you're inclined to send your friend a tweet, send your friend something on X to say, hey, at 4:50, season's greetings, summer solstice, it's summer, y'all. And so, what do you? I thought it felt like summer all last week. It felt like all summer early this week, yes. But astronomically speaking, this is the longest day of the year. And reverse that, if you go to the southern hemisphere, they're on the shortest day, longest night. We get that at around Christmas time, around the winter solstice. So everything's kind of upside down across the southern hemisphere. We get the longest day, so enjoy it while it's there. The Ultimate Doppler Radar presented by Marco's Pizza, your local Marco's Pizza. No rain to show you here, not expecting any. If you're thinking about your lunch plans, it's never too early. You might want to consider Marcos.com. Hardin Valley and Farragut, they have locations there. They're located in Maryville, Fountain City. They have locations in Halls, Oak Ridge, Middlebrook Pike, and Ebenezer Road. What I love about Marco's, besides the great tasting pizza, is they're also great corporate sponsors and they give back to the community through No Kid Hungry. They do quite a bit for the local community. Pepperoni Magnifico is one of their pepperoni pizzas that you might want to consider for less than $10, or maybe for lunch. Maybe consider the new Pozzoli. That's a hot item, less than $6. You could check that out at marcos.com. Let me get back to the radar. Nothing to see here as I want to check your comments coming in on Facebook and YouTube. Notice the orange areas. They're still dealing with heat advisories across the Ohio Valley. They're not declaring that here. They have some rain, maybe south and east of Omaha. We got some rain north and west of Omaha, but thankfully they're not dealing with rain at the moment. We had a great, I think, a pretty good outcome as far as the weather was concerned yesterday in Nebraska. But again, all things considered, that it's all about timing. More showers and storms across the Great Lakes this morning, but the big story nationally would be the leftover rains from Alberto affecting Texas. Now, worst of the rain has already come. But they were expecting anywhere from 5 to 10. Some isolated 15, 20-inch amounts. 15 to 20-inch amounts. That was mainly for the mountains of Mexico. So this was really centered around Mexico, but the rain certainly affected those other areas as well. Good morning to you. I did mention normal high today, 87. Normal low, 66. The record high today is 98 from 1931. We won't be anywhere near that. I expect 92. So we're going to be about 7 degrees shy of the record high today. We have fallen as low as 51 in 1985. That's the record low for today. If you're on the call, let me know. I'd love to say hi to you. Got some notes here. Fred says, good morning. 67 in Maryville, hometown. Oh, I gotta mention this. Let's see if we can get Fred on the screen, because I love doing this now. I'm getting better with my technology, as I can probably assume that you may see this on the screen. Let's see if we can put Fred on the screen. There he is. Okay, good morning. He says it is 67 Maryville, hometown in Maine, 75 now, getting a 100-degree heat index. Can you imagine? LL Bean territory up in Maine, feeling like it's 100. They're probably melting, right? They don't like that. They like the snow and they like the nor'easters, I would imagine, or maybe more accustomed to that. Wanda Poe, do I have Wanda on here? Let's see if I can get Wanda on here. I believe I can get Wanda on here. Let's put her comment. She says, morning, David. Everyone stay safe and water your pets. I love that reminder. I love that reminder, because it is a good reminder to make sure that you're aware that your pets need to be taken care of in this heat spell, because we got another hot spell coming in starting today and lasting through the upcoming weekend. I got one other note here from, I believe I've got Fred, I've got Wanda, I believe I have Stephen. Let's see if I can get Stephen on here. Yes, we got Stephen. He says, good morning from Alberto, Texas. I feel bad for you, sir, because I know you have strong ties in East Tennessee, but he's in the Texas area around Houston. I'm sure it's been pretty bad there. And I do believe I have one from YouTube. I don't want to leave YouTube out. Steve Stone. See on here, a comment here. Yes, he's got the good morning, he's got the happy face. So both YouTube, Facebook, you can be on the big screen here, my big screen. Anyway, if you want to check it out, but I'm glad that you're here. Let's go back to the graphics, because this may be what you're most interested in. What kind of weather can I expect today? Well, if you look back at our extended almanac, which my premium members get to see quite a bit, you would know that we've technically had only 4 days. 4? Man, we've had 6. No, 4. 4 days at 90 or higher. We had those pesky 89s back on Thursday of last week. We had an 89 on Monday, the 17th. And we only hit 88 degrees on Juneteenth, which was yesterday. So that would be closer to average. Normal high is 87. So if it's color-coded for your convenience, we've had now, 5 days below normal this month, starting with June 1st at 76 degrees. And we've had a day yesterday that was closer to average. 88 was our high on Wednesday. Today, I think we're back to 92. So if you like to play the home game version, maybe you consider joining us on Premium, Captain Accurate Premium. Just hit the subscribe button. Temperature, as I mentioned, 68 Knoxville, 68 Oak Ridge, 64 in Rockwood. By the way, it's 6:48 this morning. My goal is to be done in 12 minutes or less. I think I could do it. Dew points are going to be in the mid-60s today. They're not going to be any worse, any better during the course of today, or even tomorrow for that matter, but it's just going to gradually get hotter, because it is sometimes the heat, right? It's the heat and the humidity. It's both. Well, yes, I agree, but if the humidity stays fairly constant, mid-60s for dew points, don't be surprised. It's not going to feel like the lower 70s for a while. Tracking the clouds, you can see most of them seem like they're over the foothills, perhaps over the Smokies, but there are plenty of areas that are not going to see much in the way of cloud cover this morning. Just a little haze, but it is dry. That's the good news there for those that might have to work their way out the door here in the next few minutes. Temperature right now 70 in Chattanooga, 63 Johnson City and Asheville, while it's 73 in Memphis. Music City coming in at 69. We have no wind to speak of. We've already hinted that there was some fog, especially in places like Campbell County and northward, but the dew points all across the state, all across Kentucky, seemingly are in the lower to mid-60s. There are some upper 60s. I think they're in Bowling Green, and upper 60s for Jackson, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Actually, Jackson, Kentucky is 68, while Jackson, Tennessee is 66. So again, we're talking about dew points when they're in the high 60s, low 70s. The green ooze starts to take hold. But there are some retreating points here. About 5 o'clock today, not that humid. You move into tonight, not that humid, but it may come back first thing tomorrow morning on Friday. By midday, it is sticky, relatively speaking, but I think it's going to be a combination of heat and humidity for the weekend as we head into Saturday and beyond, where it will feel much more oppressive. We can describe that as stuffy. But for today, hazy, sun, and hot. Highs around 92. Yesterday was 88, so this would be a 4-degree bump over yesterday. Our sun came up at 6:20, goes to bed. You say, hey, it's the longest day of the year. Hey, it goes from 6:20 to 8:55. And if I'm not mistaken, the sun sets tomorrow at 8:56. So you're kind of on the cusp. You're right on the line, right, between, if the summer solstice is 4:50 today, the longest days really are today and tomorrow, I mean, on either side. But once we get well past tomorrow, we're going to start to see the length of day shrink, and we'll see those times start to go back down. By the way, it's 20th of June. If you're just joining me, it is summer. The password is, it's summer. Ooh, I like summer. Summer is probably one of our favorite seasons, right? One of four, I would imagine. Out the door, we got a little bit of fog, 77 at 10. And by 2 o'clock, we should be around 88 degrees. I have us finishing off at 92 in Oak Ridge, 89 for Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and a shout out to Lake Tansy, Fairfield Glade, Cumberland County, and Crossville for a high of only 88 degrees today. So it will be a little cooler to our friends to the far north. I want to say good morning to you if you're on the call. Carrie says, everyone stay hydrated and have a fantabulous day. I love that word. She is using the words that maybe come to mind when you have a great day, like we have expected today. Let me see if I can get Carrie on the screen, because Carrie has that great word that maybe we don't always recognize. It's the fantabulous day. It's right there. I didn't make that up. She may be using a word that's used around your neighborhood, but I love it because she's also talking about being hydrated, and that's a good idea. Oh, and I have to leave, I don't want to leave Danny out. Danny's got this idea that because we won, was it 7-2? I lost track, but it was a great ball game. Go Vols. And they're not done. They're going to finish this and come home with a national title. That's my opinion, but maybe you feel the same. Maybe you feel the same. It's very possible. But let's get back to the forecast. Today, 92. 93 in Kingston, 92 in Tellico Plains. It is 6:52. We talked about the storm Alberto hitting South Texas and areas into Mexico, possibly 5 to 10, 15 to 20 inches isolated amounts in Mexico itself. Look at the wave heights. They're now over 10, 15, even 17 feet. So this strong surge of water coming on shore, rip currents, all the rest. It's a real mess down there as they are super soggy in parts of Texas and Mexico this morning. Let's take another look at the sea surface temperatures. Obviously, when it's in the low 80s, conditions are favorable for development, and they may not be done. This may be round one. Alberto, on the screen here, is about to approach the coast of Mexico this morning. This is the latest update from the Hurricane Center. Has winds of 50. But the 50-mile-an-hour winds are headed toward Mexico. It's moving west at 13. Pressure is 993 millibars. And as it moves toward Mexico, it's likely to fade through the mountains, but squeeze out a lot of raindrops in the process. But there's another storm. You say, what are you talking about? If we've already had Alberto, that means Burl, followed by Chris, followed by Debbie, are the next three names on the list. And the Hurricane Center is concerned about another one that would come off the Yucatan Peninsula and move back into the Gulf so they could get hit with another storm within the next 7 days. So it's not like it's over and done with. This is a very active hurricane season. It is expected to be active, but in this case, Mexico may be feeling the brunt of both storms here in a short period of time. There is also a 30% chance something forms off the east side of Florida. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Headlines here at 6:53, hazy and hot. Boy, I had to add an extra line there. Hello summer, 4:50 today. Hotter end to the week, and for those of you that have tomato plants, the last line is probably the best I can tell you. Best chance for rain, Monday. You may not gotta wait till Monday. Yeah, not only do you have to wait till Monday, but you have to wait to get through all the low to mid 90s. I mean, it's gonna be cooking. So the garden hose might be your tomato plant's best friend between now and Monday, because you might have to do some watering yourself. Manual watering, as Wanda pointed out, make sure the pets are watered too, because they need all the help they can get in this type of weather. By the way, Futurecast looks at 5,000 foot temperatures. I want to show you how hot. Look at the 4 o'clock color at 5,000 feet. Now 5,000 feet, to be fair, that's about the same height as Newfound Gap. If you've ever driven to Newfound Gap, that's about 5,000 feet. So it's not that high up. Granted, Knoxville's about 900 feet above sea level. But 5,000 foot temperatures is a great critical level to understand if we're going to get hot or cold. Oftentimes it gets very toasty when you see these colors turn orange. And they do so by 5 o'clock Friday. I have us at 94 tomorrow. That would be 2 degrees hotter than today. What about Saturday? Stop the clock, 5:30. Looks even more orange, which is great because we like the Vols. But for the hot weather, you may not be a fan of the heat and the humidity. And when we move into Sunday, it looks just as hot. The cool air stays over the Great Lakes, and it's not headed here in the short term. So be prepared for more heat. Look at Monday. Monday's hot, but we'll also have the possibility of strong, maybe even severe storms. Temperature right now 68, no wind. Relative humidity 90%, dew points at 65. Here's my valley planner. As I check back at the comments, you'll notice we're back up to about 5 degrees above normal. Normal high is 87 this time of year. It'll be hazy sun and hot today for sure. By the way, look over here. Ed says good morning. Looks like a scorching summer is here. I think Ed's right. Ed's got that pointed right. Judy Kerr says good morning. Hope everyone stays safe. Glad to have Judy on the call as well. Love the fact that we could put the comments on the screen because I know at times it's nice to be able to see your comments on the screen. I think we could put Judy on there. There's Judy. She says everyone stay safe. It is a hot day today. Will be as we head through the course of the day. And of course, one more. Let's put in Ed there. We could see Ed's comment as well. Ed saying, good morning. It looks like a scorching summer. I would have to agree for sure. That is where we are as far as the Valley Planner. Let's move on and talk about the other items, the rain chances. It jumps up to 60%. On Monday, I have a 20% on Sunday, but it's interesting, our friends at the Storm Prediction Center still think there's a chance of rain Friday and Saturday here. I just don't buy into it just yet. I don't think that's the case, but of course we could agree to disagree. Our friends at the Storm Prediction Center do a fantastic job highlighting where severe weather may break out today. One spot might be in the yellow areas to the far north. We're looking around northwest Nebraska, not Omaha, but northwest Nebraska near Cheyenne, Wyoming, where they could get scattered, if not isolated, severe storms. In green, that would include Denver, Colorado. Back to the northwest, northeast, Syracuse, Albany, Boston, and Portland, Maine might have some scattered severe storms, in addition to the crazy heat that Fred was talking about. But no concerns for severe weather here. Things look pretty quiet on a Thursday. Friday, however, same situation, although it grows in yellow from Rapid City to Sioux Falls. Nothing in Omaha in terms of severe weather. They might get general thunderstorms. But the dark green near Denver suggests isolated severe storms, and that includes Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota. And then there's isolated severe storms possibly in much of Pennsylvania on Friday from Pittsburgh over to Scranton. Now here's where they put us in the possibility, and I say it's pretty small, less than 5% in my view. I'd say next to zero. But then, chance of isolated thunder is what they're painting our picture for Friday, and they do the same thing on Saturday. But Saturday, Wisconsin, Oshkosh, Green Bay may have some isolated, or rather scattered severe storms in yellow. Milwaukee and Kansas City might get the isolated in dark green. And then they put another area. By Saturday, I mean, if we got a stray shower around Johnson City or maybe the northern part of the Smokies, okay, I just don't see much in the bigger picture, so expect another hot, dry day on Saturday. And you can see from the Futurecast, as we now approach 6:58, it is 6:58 a.m., there's nothing going on at noon, nothing going on at 5. What about tonight? Tonight we're mostly clear. There's nothing going on in the entire state of Tennessee in terms of precipitation. Now here, this may be more model noise. I think this is a bit over-exaggerated. We might get some scattered clouds out of it, but I don't see rain being something to expect. We head into Saturday, same situation, although if we get a little shower near Johnson City, near the Tri-Cities, that wouldn't surprise me, but most of this I think is just overdone. Saturday afternoon, maybe a shower or storm near Roanoke or Charleston, West Virginia, probably more probable than necessarily likely. Sunrise, Sunday itself will also include maybe an isolated shower or storm. I left a 20% chance there, and that may actually converge mainly in the Smokies. So that's our Sunday outlook as a whole. As we have now hit 6:59, let's get to the Futurecast. I love looking at the midday temp, because if we can get to 84 or 85 at midday, we're probably on target to get into the 90-degree range. And today, I suspect at 85 degrees at noon, we should finish the day around 5 o'clock, around 92. And that's where this would place us. We've got some scattered clouds, but most of the day, again, going to be building to the lower 90s, and it will feel probably close to the low to mid, with a little bit of the dew point in the mid-60s. By 11 o'clock tonight, we'll become mostly clear. I think the skies will actually thin out. The clouds will thin out, and then we start the day tomorrow in the, let's say, the upper 60s, about 69, finishing the day tomorrow around 94. We should be around 88. 88. This model does paint a few green dots here, but again, I think this is overstated. I think we're going to be generally on track to be toward 94 on Friday and 95 on Saturday. So let's get to the forecast. It's now 7 o'clock. 92. That's hot. but no hotter than what we've already had in the last week or so. Winds are going to be about 3 to 8 miles per hour from the northeast. If you're in Kingston, 93. If you're in Oneida, 90. If you're in Seymour, about 92. And if you're in Jefferson City, Dandridge, Newport, highs about 92 degrees today, a hot day indeed. Traveling on the road, only 87 for our friends in Asheville over toward the Biltmore, but 96 in Nashville. Are you kidding me? That's hot. That's hot in Davidson County. I will say 93 in Shelby County. Doesn't seem as hot as maybe Nashville today, but that's for those who might be on the road. 69 tonight, mostly clear and warm. Winds are going to be about variable northeast, 0 to 5. Tonight we're down to 67 in Morristown, 66 for Pigeon Forge and Sevierville, and Maryville, Alcoa. Low about 69 degrees for your low temperature tonight. It's very warm and probably about the same as far as the humidity is concerned. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. Summer starts at 450, 94 on Friday, and 96 on Saturday. And then if we get a pullback, it'll be near 90 on Monday because I think the showers and storms could keep our temperatures down. But some of those storms on Monday could be rough and tumble. They could produce some locally heavy rain. Anytime the environment is so humid, you're going to get some locally heavy rainfall as an outcome. I think we've got another chance of rain and storms, showers and storms on Wednesday of next week, so we'll be watching that very closely. Got another note here from Felicia. Says, happy Thursday. Be mindful of all those roadway workers out there in this hot weather. They have a hot job, but these temps make it miserable. I agree. That is tough, and it is going to wear on any of us if you don't stay hydrated, stay in the cool shade as long as you can. It's just one of those things that you definitely want to do when you have weather like this. Again, we got 1, 2, 3. I have 7 days. I mean, if we get a little hiccup on Monday, let's say if we get to 89 on Monday, that'll break the next heat wave up. But consistently, it's going to feel like it's 90 plus for the next week, so I hope you'll be prepared for that. By the way, if you haven't picked up the Captain Accurate Weather app, very helpful to have to know the humidity. You get all the National Weather Service alerts. You get 3 extras plus lightning alerts, which I love if you're going to be at the neighborhood pool, at the lake this summer, or at the beach. You do get Pete Michaels traffic, another bonus, a super bonus, because you get weather and traffic, which are perfect together, and it's free. Did I mention downloading this app is free, and you can track the weather in Omaha? Because some of you are like, what's the weather going to be like on Saturday in Omaha? I know how I can find out. Find out just by the click of my finger on the smartphone. You can actually find out what's going on in Nebraska at any time of day. You get hour-by-hour forecast, which is fantastic. Now, if you want some extra weather information for some of you that crave it, maybe you'd like to know what's going to happen over Independence Day weekend. We've been talking about that for weeks. Our focus goes beyond the next 7 days. We usually look at 30 days in the future, some trends. We look at pattern recognition, and we're also the first to see every forecast. So if you're a premium member, I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button if you're not. But it's a great bargain to have. You get more Facebook Lives, you get fewer ads. Having a premium membership is only 16 cents a day, and I'm posting about 15 to 20 posts a day. Now, you might be thinking, if you follow me on Facebook, you don't post that much. I do on the premium side. I absolutely do. Ask any one of my premium members. They count them up. You sign 15 to 20 posts a day, and you're doing it for 16 cents a day. That's it. That's it. It's a bargain. It's a real bargain. So check it out. Hit the subscribe button, or if you want more details, go to CaptainAccurate.com. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. Please stay cool on this first full day of summer. Really, first summer solstice at 4:50. We'll see you here next time. Take care.